Okay, hey guys, in this video we're going to be building this massive portfolio site using Svelte and TailwindCSS from complete scratch. So it's deployed, so you can check it out in the link in the description down below. It has so many nice sections. You're going to learn a lot from building this project. As you can see, we have like a little dashboard to show our different skills. We have a nice profile card. We have our experiences, some of our projects. And click, it might link you to the Airbnb clone we did before, the gallery app, and this one which we're supposed to build but we haven't done yet. Okay, we have our hobbies, we can see here, and we have our blog too. Okay, and one more thing we should not forget is that this project is super responsive, because it's also nice to make stuff responsive because it's also nice to make stuff responsive so we can be viewed on multiple devices. So as you can see, it's nicely responsive and everything collapses into one kind of nice stuff. This is how it looks on a mobile device though. Everything collapses. You can take it up to a medium mobile device, so everything looks nice. You can view this out on your phone, wherever. Okay, so this is what we are going to be building in this tutorial. So what you have to do is that you have to download the starter files in the description down below. So when you download the starter files and you run npm I, you will get a server error. So we're going to go from server error to this. Okay, I'm just going to leave that on for you for like a reference purposes. Okay. So what we want to do is that we want to adjust our server error. So it's telling us grid is not defined. If you go to the libs folder, you can see that there's no grids again. So what I want to do is I want to do is I want to go to page. I want to remove all this. I want to remove all this. We do not want this anymore. Okay, so if we come back here, we should be getting completely nothing, and we're not getting any more errors again. So what I want to do is I want to delete all these three files for this project. Okay, so now I want to make a couple of files. So we're going to be making like 6 or 7 files here for the different pages, like the profile card, the project, the skills, our experiences, so on and so forth. So let's start simple with the profile card. So keep in mind that we are building this mobile first. Profile card sort. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to come to the page just felt. Okay. I want to import our profile. Okay, it's also imported for me from Visual Studio Code. What we want to do that essentially we want to keep this in a grid. And note, an advantage of using my starter files is that TailwindCSS is already installed, so in case you didn't know. So grid m-auto, we are going to give this, we're just going to give it m-auto. I want to give this grid colon 1. So mobile first. So for mobile device, it's going to have a grid colon of 1. And let's just stop there for a minute. Let's just stop there. Then we'll continue progressively add more things as it becomes necessary. So let's start building the profile card right now. So the very first thing that we're going to do, so we're going to have a div. Sorry, it's going to have a class of bg white. The background is not white, and we're going to adjust that in a minute. So I'm going to have a class of bg white. So inside here, we want to have our image. So this should be to our image 1. We want to attach a script here that says import image 1 from lib. That is an advantage of using the lib folder. Okay, so we want to say, want to look for a profile photo here. That's even more convenient. Another advantage of using the starter files. Let's just make sure that that is showing there. It's not showing. Okay, I see showing. So nice. So I want to keep going. So what do we want to do essentially to the card? So we want to say padding dash 4, shadow, shadow 2XL for some nice shadow. We want to give it yeah, that's what we want to give it for now. Note we are building from a mobile point of view. So what I want to do is I want to enter into here. I want to say div. Okay. And inside here we'll have another div of uh margin bottom dash 3. So you want to space the rest section from the other section. Font, you can put your name here if you want. So just build it with me. Every single thing, after you're finished building this thing, you'll be able to customize every single thing. It's going to be super dead easy to customize it. Just a matter of changing the text and changing what's inside the HTML tags. Okay, font build, you can put your name here. I'm just going to put mine. Uh, yeah, okay. Last but not the least, I just give them text to Excel and font build. So I'm gonna say front end developer here, or it could be back end developer, or it could be full stack developer. Okay, whatever suits you. So now I'm gonna attach this body. This has no meaning. You can remove this. And why I'm leaving this body is so like you know what's going on. It just like labels it, so you can remove it if you want. I'm gonna give this a class of flex. Uh, items center. So this aligns items vertically. If you have watched any of my videos, you know I like Flexbox a lot. So that's not okay. So what do we want to do here? We have a paragraph, which we also have a class of flex item center. Inside the paragraph, we have a span. Okay, I'm not connected to the internet right now, but if you were connected to the internet, you should be able to use material icons. And you're gonna ask me will I be able to use material icons? The starter files again. Okay, material symbol outlined. I think this is how it works. Or you could just check the site real quick. Type mail, they'll give you a mail icon. But now I'm not connected to the internet right now. So you could write your own mail. So I'm just gonna write there. So write my mail. Okay, we have that. You check that. Okay, you can see our classes are being applied accordingly. Okay, okay, good. So what we want to do is that you just want to just duplicate this paragraph uh, 2 times. You can see it is flexed there. You just want to just duplicate the paragraph 2 times. Copy for your different social links. It could be how many you want. For example, this one is going to be phone. You could give them your phone number. 334 070. Uh, you could put your own phone number. It doesn't really matter again. Okay. So the last but not the least, you could add your YouTube or Instagram or whatever social media platform you want to use. I'm just gonna put my YouTube channel at Tech Up Front. So save that. We should see that nicely here. Okay, my bad. This div is not supposed to have a class of flex. Whatever. It's the different elements that are having a class of flex. Sorry for that. Uh-huh. You can see that nicely. So we are almost done with the HTML and stuff. We just need to just move into the advanced styling. So directly after this div, we want to come here and see p tag self motivated developer who is willing to learn and create outstanding applications. Okay, nice. So as you can see, we want to give them this material icons is spelled really wrongly. You could correct that. So we want to give these guys margin right 2, margin right 2, uh, margin right 2. So come here, you can see that has some equivalent spacing there. So now let's get into the fun stuff. So let's make this look like actually the profile card that we see there and that we like. What we have to do, we have to do add a couple of things. So first of all, we'll say something like rounded to Excel. And we also want to give the image a class of rounded to Excel. As for the image will it will be okay. By the time we give it a grade, the image will definitely be okay. But yeah, by the time we give it a grade, the image will definitely be okay. Come to a mobile view, as you can see, it already has that. It already has that already. You can see. So as you can see, this guy is already well built. So what I want to do is I want to come to page as Svelte, give it a width of dash 90%, so we can see it centered. Okay, nice. As you can see, we have already done one part of it already. I know when it was on desktop view, we couldn't really see it like that, but that's okay. So the next one we're going to do is that we're going to be looking at the skills. We're going to be doing our different skills. And this one is also very easy to do. Again, all we just have to do is to just do it once and we duplicate it for the different skills that we have. So what we have to do is I will come here. Sorry, come here. We'll make a new file. We'll call this skills.svelte. So we're already done with this first section really quickly. It's probably going to be like 17 minutes now or 15 minutes into the video. I wonder how long this video is. I don't want this video to exceed 1 hour because I'm supposed to be somewhere right now and I'm taking my time to record this video. Okay, now let's quickly do this. Okay, please tell me if I'm too fast in this comment section. So we're going to say skills. Okay, and that has already also imported. So what we want to do, we want to have 3 skills essentially, right? We want to have 3 skills essentially. So for each skill, we want to have bg dash white as normal because the background is not going to be white. I'm going to give this rounded to Excel padding dash 4, and I want to give this shadow. You can give some shadow, you can not give some shadow. It's really up to you. Okay, I want to give this stiff. What I want to do is I want to have a p tag of text large and font bold. And say front end, or it could be back end in your case. Customer, you just the last time I'm going to say this, you could customize it however you want. Okay, this should be a paragraph tag. I don't like it being a div tag. It should be a paragraph tag. Okay, let's continue. So now we're going to do the individual divs for the progress bar and the name of this skill, like CSS, the progress bar, HTML, progress bar, whatever. So flex is going to have items center for align item center, and justify. This one, I think this one is very important. Just justify between, and then p-1. Okay, see something like CSS progress. Apparently, Visual Studio Code doesn't has a progress bar. Doesn't know what the progress bar is. Okay. Want to write 80. We don't. It doesn't matter what you write here. Say, give it a max value of 100. Give it a value of 70. Now, or 60, whatever. But now what we want to do is I want to write some custom stats for the progress bar because Tailwind CSS doesn't have that. So what I want to do, I want to write some custom stats for the progress bar. So say progress value. So the progress that has a color, the progress that has a value. I'm gonna give this a color 2F880 ED, and we want to give this dash dash background light gray, and we want to give this some other things. So say all these are like prefixes for the different browser. You could just say appearance and none, border none, width 200 pixels, height 11 pixels, and a margin of 0 11 pixels, border radius 11, yeah, 10 em, and finally background color, we set it to var background. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to, let's look at this in the browser for a minute. Okay, it's not state yet complete, so we want to do some other things to it. So we say progress, or we could say we're setting the color here. Let's also set the color to var dash color. So this is CSS variables, something that I have never taught you before, but you are. So as you can see, it doesn't change it. Okay, it doesn't change it. So just bear with me here. I'm gonna say progress value. You're gonna see some stuff you don't really understand, and I can't really explain because I didn't quite style this myself. I used some places. So WebKit progress bar is what we're gonna use. Okay, we're gonna take down this semicolon. I'm gonna say WebKit progress bar. I'm gonna say border radius 10. Sorry, border radius 10 em. We're gonna give this background color because it didn't do it the first time. Okay, let's look at that. To comment. So these guys, you guys should just have some patience. So we're going to do it for the different browsers that are here. This is going to be WebKit progress value. For this one, we're going to give it a color. Color. Last but not least, from Mozilla Firefox. So this should work on all browsers now. Yeah. Why isn't it still working? Let's refresh the page or something. We attach a. Why isn't it working? So this is weird. I don't know why it's not working. it ought to be working actually. So what you can just do, just go to the final files and paste it. That's what I've done because it's not actually part of the project. So you can just look at it on screen, pause the video, and you can code it or adjust wherever we had that problem. This is it. It's working. If it didn't work for you, you can check out the starter files in the description down below and do whatever you want to do with it. Or you could just copy this part and let's go on with the rest of the video. So what we want to do is I want to copy this number of times we want. In this case, which is I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So this one will have JavaScript, we'll have React, we'll have Tailwind CSS, we'll have Firebase. So altogether it will look something like this. Notice the font is not quite the same with this font. We're not connected to the internet right now. Okay, so don't need to worry about the spacing and the gap. We can just give that, we're giving a grid colon here, so we could give this a gap of -8. Okay, now that's nicely spaced for us. You don't have to use any useless margin that will distort the layout and make everything messy. And okay, so what we have to do now is I will change this to design. We'll come here. So design, there are only two apparently here. There might be more. If you're a designer, feel free to tell me the rest in the comment section. But so we're just going to be looking at Photoshop and Figma. Okay, design, nice. Okay, the last but not the least is actually you don't have to add this one. Actually, I just added this one because sorry, I just added this one. Oh, don't worry. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this one. So the last one, you don't have to add the last one actually. Just my own stuff. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's kind of late saying this, but if you are watching up to this point, I don't see why you would not subscribe. Like seriously, man, up to this point in the video, I don't know why you don't subscribe to the video. Okay, so I'm just editing the text here, just simply editing. And if you have one more skill or whatever that you have, you can just slot it in here. Okay, nice. So we have that looking nice. So now I'm going to be looking at the experiences, the projects, and here. Because if we go here, mobile view, we can see experiences here. One thing that is quite funny, you see experiences come directly after in the middle of here because that's what experiences actually is. But we are using Flexbox and turning it up and around. So the next one that we're going to do is the experiences. So this one is going to be under. I gave it a file of work because experience the name is too long. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the work part of it. You want to put the places that have work or anything that counts as an experience. So as normal, we are going to say BG white. I feel like this is the first class you should use. Uh, Shadow to Excel, uh, rounded to Excel, P-4, pad for padding -4. And yeah, the next classes that we're going to be adding is when we're making this responsive. We're going to say text to Excel, font dash bold. You want to say experiences. Now we want to have a div of we're going to give this flex for medium screens upwards and item center. The reason why I'm not giving item center for medium screen upwards it doesn't really matter because item center is useless without flexbox. So okay, the inside here we want to have the image of your choice, like the YouTube images, which I am not with right now. Apparently, this is what I have, or this is what I have. I'm not with that right now. So what I'm gonna do is that real quick, the images are gonna be in the starter files down down below. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna get those images. Okay, so something I just remembered that just hit me is that so if you refresh this, something I just remembered that just hit me is that the images are from a URL actually. So the images are from, you can see that the font is taking place. The images are, but this is not quite the right font. We'll adjust this in a minute. The images are from a URL. So I think I got them from icons 8. So I just came here to icons 8. I clicked the YouTube, Facebook, I use Nike, whatever icons you want to use, totally up to you. So I think I clicked this one, then I clicked add or something like that. So there you can click it and you can find the section where they will give you for a link tag. You could download it as well when you click on the download button. It will show you a list of things to do. So I just click to copy the URL because yeah. So I click to copy the URL. So you could download this whatever you want to do to it. It's completely up to you. So I have already copied the necessary URLs, and I say URLs, not URL, URLs. So what I want to do is I want to have an image. Uh, we'll link the source up to the to URL one, and we'll give this a class of width. So when we're giving custom things in Tailwind CSS, we give a bracket because it's not part of the Tailwind design spec. So say width 5 rem, height 5 rem. Very important. What we want to do is I want to put this in a div. I will give this margin left 2 because you know it might be flex. So we could just give this a medium margin left 2. We're gonna give this 2 paragraphs. Okay. So the first one is gonna be a little bit gray. So we just say, oh, we'll add the second one in a minute. So we say text. We're not giving this one a bigger class. We just want it to be a normal paragraph. Text gray dash 400, and we'll type sept 2020 2020 till date. That's actually when I started my YouTube channel. Been long, but we'll conquer this together. We'll pass this and we'll get to even 1 million subscribers in the future. So subscribe so we can get there. Font build. This one is gonna have text of Excel, and we're gonna give this a class of tech up front. Then we'll put a little bit of text on whatever you want this, what you were doing. So we see something like making, coding, tutorials. This is what I was doing, and sometimes I was just recording videos that I found cool to me, which were not essentially tech videos. Recording tech videos, it has always been fun. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, we did not nest this. So what we'll do is I'll come to the plus page just first and say work. I really love this number with Studio Code. If you have to type this in, don't sweat it. We have all been there. It's all right. Okay, yeah, you see, we have something like this, which is working really good. So what we also have to do is simply duplicate this 3 times. And when we duplicate it 3 times, we want to change the image. That's just all. Then we're done with the experience. Ah, so probably easier than you thought. So I'm gonna use the second image, and you are gonna ask me am I able to do things like this? It's a secret actually, sure, but I will reveal it one day. It's a secret. It's actually something really easy, sure, but it's a secret. It's my own kind of secret. Take me a long time to know that, and I'm not gonna reveal it so easily. Especially to some people that are watching this video right now and don't want to subscribe, which is actually cool by the way too. Actually, it's not cool. Okay, let's continue. I'm just joking. Okay, so I'm just changing the images and I'm duplicating it 3 times. Okay, nothing much there. Aha, you could change this. So let's even customize this. I don't want this to be us to us say tech up front end. I know I'm not really. No, don't worry. Okay, so front end. We say lead front end developer because that sounds way more selling. Lead front end developer. Developer. Then we'll come here. We say we can't just say backend developer. We have to say lead backend developer. Sounds more compelling. Lead backend, especially if you were the only person doing it. Okay, boom. See, looks really nice. See, the mobile view is almost done. I told you, the mobile view is almost done. Okay, okay. Now I want to do hobbies and want to do the blog. Okay, still have a lot to do. This video is gonna be super long. I didn't want it to be. We can check. We are already 30 minutes into the video, 33 minutes into the video. We're gonna be here forever. So let's speed things up. So we are done with that, which is actually quite nice. So what we have to do now is the project. It doesn't matter the order we do it. The order I guess render out here is the order this is. And we have CSS Beach at our disposal. Anything's possible. Project dot svelte. Yeah. Okay. So we want to start building the project section. And then let's go. Firstly, we'll have our images. So we'll say import. I know we have used the variable name image before, but it doesn't matter as it's scoping or whatever. What's called lib. So we say lib slash photo in again in the starter files. Copy and change this to 2, 2, 3, 3. We have different. We have our 3 images of our required project. So maybe what you might want to do is that you just need to just snap your own images and edit them. So this one, I'm going to give this one empty. The reason I'm leaving, if I apply it now, you will have absolutely no idea what's going on. So I'm just going to leave it empty, but later it's going to have a bunch of responsive classes. Okay. So what do we want to do essentially? What do we want to do? Okay. So as always, I said this one is going to have the responsive classes as the container. If you apply it now, you don't understand. So let's just keep on going. BG white, okay. Rounded to Excel. As always, we're going to do it once, then duplicate it X amount of times. So we're going to say uh, P dash 4. Just have a paragraph instance. Projects bracket 3. So we're going to do the first one. Notice that this is not for the rest of them. Yeah, we're putting it inside a container because it has this kind of like feel here. Oh, we'll nest it and you see what exactly what I'm talking about. What do we want to do for each of them? So for each of them, what we want to do is really easy. So most of the classes are kind of responsive, but as I said, we'll get, I will just apply them now. They are not complicated. So medium, flex, and I showed you if we pass a medium this thing, you can see here, you can see it becomes flex. You watch this, it becomes flex. That's essentially what I was trying to tell you about. Okay, okay. We're doing something similar like that here. BG white, M dash auto. This might not do a lot of watch, but just add it in case CSS is crazy, anything is possible. So shadow 2XL P dash 4 and MT5. Not necessary. I don't think MT5 is necessary, but if it's necessary, we'll add it. Like I said at the beginning, CSS is crazy. So let's start adding those required elements. So the first one that we're gonna have the image dash one. We're gonna have a class. This image should not be allowed to do its own things. So when I say class width, we could. I don't think giving the image a fixed width is all right. I don't think. Okay, let's try. Let's try. See, CSS is all about experiments. Okay, experiment. You should experiment. We'll give this MR margin right. Remember, 3 rounded 2XL and a height of 274 pixels. So this is actually from the Figma file. The Figma file is like a design spec file that has all the specific stuff. So we're gonna have a div for the rest of the page because it is flexed. So this is gonna be flexed against everything that is inside of here. P tag. So the first one we're gonna do is I'm gonna give it a class of text black for black text. We're gonna give this MB3 margin bottom 3. Hashtag svelte hashtag TailwindCSS. Next one is going to be text. So this is going to be the heading of whatever the project was. If you haven't seen the video on that, if you haven't seen the video on the Airbnb clone, make sure to go and see it. Yeah, you learn how to build it, to deploy it, and add it to this portfolio, which is really nice too. The next project, I bet you change your spell skills. I don't have time to type this actually. We're just gonna say lorem like that. Lorem, whatever. Use that. That's appropriate. Or ideally, you should give a description of whatever you build. So mt-5 margin top 5. It just has the two links or buttons, whatever you might call them. A, first one, do it duplicate. Yeah, you should catching up. So the Win B&B project, I actually quite remember it off right in the back of my head, called Win B&B dot slash final. Don't write this if you didn't build this, or you could just put your own version, even if you did build it. Netlify.app. So what we want to do is I also want to put target blank so that they don't leave our page. Last but not least, we just say demo. Then what we want to do here is I want to apply a bunch of classes that are important. Sorry, space. You want to say BG. It's the same of the progress bar. I think it's 2F 80ED. PX4 padding on the X axis, so padding on the left side will be padding left and right. As you can see, it says padding left and right here. So padding Y2. When styling the button, it's important to know that the PX is always more than the PY. It's just a conventional rule that I use. So you don't really need to worry about the values. You could give this 5, 3, 3, 2. whatever you want, but make sure that px is more than py. So what we want to do is I want to say medium. Uh, for medium screens upwards, we'll give it width 150 pixels because they are big enough. Why for any other screen, we want to give it to be so the rest is rounded at Excel, not to Excel, then text white. Save. So what I want to do is I want to copy, duplicate this for code. I'm going to link the code here. So what I want to do is that it's the exact same thing, but we'll swap it and a bunch of other things. So this will be text, whatever this collects, then border. We also want to have a border of this color as well. So we say something like copy, border, then say border 2. So this is just specifying the width of the border dash. Sorry for that, border 2. And I think we should be able to look at it now. Oh yeah, this is quite frustrating. Page just first. I want to add what are we working on right now? Skills. Okay, sorry, it's actually projects that I want to add. Okay, so adding the projects and not skills. Because if you add skills, it's gonna add it multiple times. Okay, now we can see that here. Nice. Come to a mobile device. The reason why it's like this sometimes is that we're giving it a fixed width, which I think we should remove. I don't think that's necessary. Let's remove that. So let's come here. We'll remove the fixed width. Remember, it's the first one, right? So it's going to scale accordingly. When we get to a mobile device, and you can kind of see why I gave it that width, especially. Because if we come to desktop, it will look something like this. And the image is just so no, let's just give it that fixed width image and height. I think it's for the best to make sure the image doesn't go out of control. As you can see, it's better like this on the desktop. Okay, so what we just have to just do, okay, why aren't we seeing code? We're supposed to see code here. Why aren't we seeing code? Damn it. So let's come here and troubleshoot whatever is going on. So I think it has, okay, let's remove this border. Okay, so we can see code. But we're giving it text white somewhere. So let's read the warning message as attached to it here. So it said applies to the same thing as text white. So of course we are giving it text white somewhere. So let's remove this and we should see it. Okay, nice. We have that this thing. So what we just want to just do, what we'll now do now is that we'll just duplicate this 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 20 times. Okay, don't duplicate it 20 times. But in this case, we're doing it 3 times. You could duplicate it 4 times. 4 times is still okay. So this is the div. Copy it, paste. Do this. Okay, our duplicating did not go successfully. So let's come back a minute. So let's see if this one got duplicated properly. It did not see quite go as planned. So let's come back to it. because we're not duplicating the entire thing. Okay, so let's go back. So it's this that we should be duplicating. Copy, duplicate, come here, duplicate. Nice. We'll attack the spacing in between it sometimes. We'll attack that in a moment. Nice, looking good. So what we have to do next is quite easy. What we have to do next is wait, true. What do we have to do next? So we have to do hobbies and blog. Hobbies and blogs. So that's what we have left. Hobbies and blogs. So the hobbies section is quite easy. Blog section is quite easy as well because we're just going to be copying and pasting respectively. So hobbies. Okay. We want this to be a file, not a folder. So for the hobbies, it's actually quite easy. There's not much going here because the flex box that we're using here, it's not a lot of, it's easy. So as always, we want to import three images that we're going to be using. Import image one, and again, doesn't matter. CSS scoping. We can have multiple variables in the same file in different files. You probably knew that, but I'm just gonna say some people might not know, or you might just get subconsciously confused and don't want to ask that kind of question. Okay, so lib. We're just gonna take this for photo 3456 or 564, or you might want to just change this to the photo of your hobby. Photo 5 to and maybe I'll change these images in a moment, sure, but let's just use them the way they are right now. So what do we want to start with? What have we always been starting with since? There's a class I've been starting with. If you have made it into the video, you know. What have we always been starting with? What do we want to start? So I'm just gonna give you some time to write. That we're gonna start with BG White. Because this is what we always start with, okay? BG White rounded to Excel. We're gonna be here forever actually. How long is this video? 49 minutes, 50 minutes, we're gonna be here for 2 hours. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's try and do this as fast as we can. So text black. Text to Excel for the hobbies text. You know, the hobbies text is quite big. Margin bottom dash 2 font bold. So say hobby. So as usual, we'll do it once, we'll duplicate it twice, and then you can edit the text inside or whatever. We want to have this class of hobby. So here we'll link our image source, image as one, and we'll put a paragraph by the middle. Paragraph. So the paragraph, you don't want it to be too big or it will distort everything. So we just say text dash black text XL, not text to XL. Font bold. Playing games. Playing. I'm just gonna write a one. I said playing games is nice and refreshing. Okay, come here. Okay, we'll nest it first. We'll nest it. We'll come to page. We'll nest it. Nice by Visual Studio Code again. Never disappoints me. When we need it. So as you can see, we have our hobbies. I don't think it's in the grid. Okay, so let's just keep on going. We'll give this P dash 4. Wait, let's check this out now. Okay. Something is not quite right. Can't quite put my finger on it. Let's just continue. We'll adjust it as necessary. Wait. Let me just check something. Okay, my voice is because there are some times where I've just recorded, my voice will not be there, and in like hours I'll be recording, so I'll just cry. Guitar. I duplicated to change the name of it. Image 3, and this should be chess. So what's messing up the layouts at these images? These images are extremely big. So what we'll do, uh, they will be controlled by the grid. So we'll just give all of them a class of rounded to Excel. Otherwise, if these images don't comply, we'll just use a different images. Please let's change this last image, please. Use a different images. And we'll use a different image. There's one kind of behavior here that's happening that I don't quite like. This one is not centered like the rest of them. So I don't know what is going on here. It's not quite centered like the rest of them, which I don't quite like at all. Let's just take it easy. We'll change it if we want to. We'll adjust it as we see fit. So the last one now is the blog. So the blog is essentially a photocopy of the project. It's the same layout but different content. Okay, we're just gonna copy this, come to new file, call this blog.sat. We'll paste everything here. And what we have to do is that we just have to just change it. Change it. Instead of project, it's gonna be blog. And we just change the text or whatever. How to build Facebook in 2 minutes, even if that's not possible, we'll add it. Mm, how to build a private jet with JS. Interesting headlines, don't you think? How to blow up a country with JS. Safe. Okay. Okay, we don't see it because it is not nested. So let's take that nested stuff here. Log. We have an internal error. So for the first time, it didn't auto import blog, which was weird. Okay, now it has. So we see the blog section properly. So something is messing up our layout. I don't know what it is, but we'll put our finger on it and adjust it accordingly. Okay, now I've gotten to this section in the video. Everything is quite done with the mobile view. What we have to do now is that we have to. Hobbies is not centered. Hobbies is not centered. It's a problem. Or maybe because it doesn't has any shadow. That is why. Okay. So let's start building everything. Let's start attaching everything for the mobile view. And start positioning it properly. First of all, we want to give I said I treated the background is not white, so background color. It's actually RGB 242, I think. Okay, yeah, it's just 242, 242, 242, 242, 242, 242. Save. Yes. Okay, so I told you it's not really okay. Everything is centered properly. I told you it's not really, this thing. Okay, so what we have to do now, let's give these guys some margin apart. And I don't quite like seeing them like that. We should have done that before we copied everything up to project. Okay, so in the projects, we could just easily do that by saying, let's come to the project and easily do that. So we could just easily do that by saying MT5, 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 MT5. Margin top, margin top, margin top. To make sure it doesn't break the layout. So as you can see, it's properly spaced. Okay, sorry, this is the blog. So let's come to up to the project. As in the project, everything is properly spaced. Let's go to the blog. In the projects, everything was properly spaced. So we want to do this for the desktop view. We're done with the mobile view now. So we want to do this for the desktop view. I'm sure that is the part you wanted to see. How we use grid to align everything for the mobile view. Okay, everything is spaced nicely. Let's put this on 375. Everything is spaced nicely. Yeah, 375 is a bit small. No, 375 is not small. It's not still quite centered. Okay, so now let's attend to the CSS grid now. Let's look at this properly. I guess we have to still give them individually margin auto, margin auto. I thought that was not necessary. Class m dash auto. Come to the projects, class m dash auto. Let's see if it's working first of all. Okay, so it's not still centered. And we'll address that later. So let's start building it for the mobile, for the desktop view now. So what we want to do now, everything we want to do now is for the desktop view. So what we do is that, congrats on making it this far in the video. Okay, so we want to start doing it for this now. Ah, just so for desktop, we want to have a 3-column grid. So grid colors 2. We want it to be for large screens. We want the width to be 1200 pixels. And we want it, yeah, that's what we really want it to be. Of course, this is not going to do anything by this thing, but it's going to put everything in a 3-column grid. Okay. So we say large screen grid colon 3. Okay, yeah, so it's ought to be grid colon 3. equals 1. We have this messy layers. So we'll go to the individual files and we'll start adjusting them necessary. The first one we'll start with is we'll start with the profile card. Profile card, what do we want to adjust in the profile card? Essentially, so what we want to do to the profile card essentially, I want to come here and say large. For large screens, I want to have a width of 400 pixels. Large screens, height 600 pixels. Uh, that's all. But wait. We'll give this row span 2. Make sure it spans 2 rows. Nice. Let's continue. We'll go to page of spells. Okay, we'll go to page of spells. We'll go click on the skills. Wait. Let's look at the order of this thing for a moment and put it in the right order. I think projects should be here. Yeah, it should be in the right order. So let's look at project next. I told you in project we're gonna have a lot of responsive classes, and we have come back to them. Told you, time is relative. Okay. So medium row 4. So you want it to be on row 4 for major screens and upward, and for large screen upwards, I want to give this colon span 2. You don't really have to put the large screen sharp, but I like putting it. Doesn't really matter because of the fact that on mobile screens we're giving it 2 colors. So for large screens, we want it to start from colon 2 and end at colon 4. Essentially, this guy is spanning 2 columns. So from column 2 to column 4. And if we look at what this looks like, what you should do is that you should bring up the CSS grid inspector too. So as you can see, it's spanning 2 columns from column 2 to column 4. Right? Easy. So experiences, we have to tackle this one. And this is not a small fry. Come to work. For work, which is also known as experience. So I want to come here and want to attach some classes. So we say first of all we want to show row start, not row span, row start 3. We want it to start from the third row. Starting from third row. And we could just so nice. We'll adjust the width and height of these ones. Okay, so let's adjust these two monstrosities or whatever, they're not working right now. So come to hobbies and blog. For hobbies, what we just simply want to do for hobbies is row start 4. So the next row after that one, we wanna give it row start 4, and that's it. Or for large screens upwards, we'll say height, control the height. I think I remember what I gave this 1100 pixels. Save, and we'll come to blog. So blog, we want to do the exact same thing as we did in the project, which we just want it to span 2 columns. So to span 2 columns, we give it a large colon span 2. And yeah, colon span 2 should be enough. You can see this is the default behavior of CSS grid. It's going to associate the height of the longer element to the other shorter element, which I don't quite like. So let's fix where there is a problem. We start from the work. So let me try and remember how much width did I give this guy again? Or height. Okay. I think his height, it should be around 700 pixels. Or let's try large height 650 pixels. It's important that you put that large there. Okay, nice. We'll come here to this design and Photoshop. So we'll come to I think it's inside the skills section. So what I want to do is I want to give them a width of 150 pixels each. So you see something like height 150 pixels. Copy, come here, save. Okay, nice. And what we have to do is the hobbies. The hobbies is the only one lacking. And I think I know why the hobbies is the only one lacking, because this is not the images that are supposed to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change all the images right now. Then I'm going to put them in the starter files down below. So I'm going to go and get the real images. Okay, so I have gotten the real images. So what I want to do, I want to come to hobbies. So your hobbies looks nice. You can see that the images have a image or image 456. So we're going to change this. So I can say for image 4. And you notice that the images are JPEG. So change this to JPG. Even though it's JPG, it's actually JPEG image. JPG. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, it's nicely done. It's nicely done. It's nicely done. So we have some residual space. So what do we want to do with this residual space? We want to give it some class. We'll say PT4, PT4, padding top 4, PT4. So the computer is loading. Nice, you could put any of them. So we have come here. Yeah, we're almost done with it. Why isn't it applying it? You are applying PT4 to the image. I don't think we should apply PT4 to the image. That's wrong. Or only the image will be displaced. So we want the entire thing PT4. Next is PT4. PT4 to the hobby, not the image. And the hobby class doesn't really do anything. It just makes it what makes it. Well, it makes us able to see it better. So what we want to do now, we are almost literally done with it. You just have to just put some finishing touches. Like, uh, yeah. So what we just have to do is we just have to just put some finishing touches on it. And then when we put some finishing touches out, we should be done with it. Yeah, we should be done with it. Okay. Alright, let me come back to the program that we were in. So even with our PT4, it's not there. We still have residual space here that we don't want. We can chop that out. Sorry, the computer is skipping this bit. So we can chop out the residual space. Maybe we'll just give this a height of 1000 pixels. Okay, that's smaller. Nice. Mhm. We are literally done with the website. Oh yeah, so we need to add this one here. I want to add it. So and we need to add the correct font. So let's just do that and be done. This 1 hour journey, I didn't think was possible. I did it, and you did it as well too. So yeah, we are really awesome. So we change this. Which is the wrong spelling. Material. Let's just refresh it. As you can see, the icons are there. Okay. The last one that we have to do this now is for the phone. Last but not the least, the font is popping. So let's come here and see font, Google fonts. Yeah, let's come here and add our font, poppins. So we want to add 400 and a dark one. So just come here. I think it's already here for me. So I've added 400. What I want to add is maybe 700 or something. Probably 700. So I'll come here, copy this, then the rule, which I'll paste in the app.css file. So we'll come here, we replace Montserrat. We don't want Montserrat, Montserrat. Even though it's quite close to Poppins, we don't want it. Come here, save. Yeah, so this is it. This is the correct font, but the 700 font kind of makes everything look a little bit darker than the original design, because in the original design that isn't actually there. And I noticed something in the blog. We even have a read more hash note button. So let's correct that. So here we want this to be read hash node. So come to the blog. At least it's not technically the one I built actually, but it is quite really close. It's quite close to it, super close to it. As in, you could take the one I built, which is in the description down below, or you could just and model it to it, or check if there's anything that's there. Just copy this and paste this in the other ones. Okay, come here. Uh, let's save. Okay, yeah. So we should see a read hash node button here. Okay, yeah. Nice. So now I want to space this here. Yeah, it's not as appropriately spaced in the experience. So let's come to the in our experience section. Profile card. So work. We'll come to the experience part of it. So we want to give each of them empty-10. Oh yeah, we already did that. So I've already given everything empty-10, and we have this much residual space. Shocking. So let's look at the original design. This is the original design, and this is what we built. Alright, we tried. Not quite pixel perfect, especially in this part section of it. So let's correct this part that's needed. Okay, I think what is missing here is P-4. Okay, yeah, P-4 is already here. Oh, okay, we could just reduce the height 450 instead of, since that's, oh okay, that's too small. 550. Okay, I think what is wrong is that here the text here is longer, so that's why. Okay, you can add longer text and increase the width as you see fit. So this has been the portfolio site. It has been crazy. It has been the portfolio site. It is responsive. We're just doing a full demo to make sure that it is working. Let's make sure that okay, so boom goes to the responsive mode. Use our V for tablets. It goes smaller, smaller, smaller. And this is our view for mobile view. Which is really looking really nice. Mobile view is nice. Desktop view is nice. Everything's nice. This has been the portfolio website in 1 hour 17 minutes.
Staring down the barrel, waiting for the final gates to open to a new tomorrow.